Hey guys, how are you? I wanted to go over your very last cereal assignment. So you will be assigned this on Monday and it is due on Wednesday. And you have already done a text to text connection where you took cereal as one of your texts and then you took a book or a poem or a painting or a piece of art as your other text. Okay, so right now, next, you're going to do a text to world connection. And you are going to take cereal as your text and you're going to connect it to something going on in the world. So you need to find an article from a database, Newsela, whatever you're going to use, where you found something from cereal in the real world, which should not be that hard because cereal is the real world. That's a real person that we're talking about when we talk about Adnan. So here's what you're going to do. You're going to start thinking about some things going on in the podcast that you may have heard about in other situations. All right, so I started making you a list up here by the pink. The fact that they really only use circumstantial evidence, cell phones, okay, helping to record things and so forth. I know that Alexa has been used to help record things in trials and so forth now. Stealing, racism, and prejudice, all right? In episodes 9 and 10, they talk about the fact that Adnan is from Pakistan, or his relatives are. He is American, but his relatives are from Pakistan, okay? And Sarah Koenig thinks that plays a role in what happens to him. All right, so I only listed 4 connections, you guys. There's a lot more. I do not want you all writing about racism, prejudice, stealing, cell phones, or circumstantial evidence. There's more going on in here. So once you pick your issue that you think that you want to make a connection to, then find an article or documentary or anything from a database about that issue. It could be about like prison life. Okay, Adnan talks about how he's a cook or whatever. Find out, research a little bit about prison life. Okay, then you're going to write a paragraph explaining the connections. You do need 2 direct quotes from either the article or the podcast. Then color code accordingly. So I'm going to give you my example. All right. So here's the article that I used. And it's linked in there because I want to see the article that you use. And I'm starting with some sort of topic sentence that's going to draw people in. That's what's in purple. And my connection I made is the stealing. I want to say it's episode 9, 10, or 11. Sarah talks about some of the rumors, and one of the rumors is that he would steal from his church. So that's the connection that I made. So I found an article about how often people steal from their churches. And I'm going to read this to you. And this is what yours should look like. Unfortunately, people steal. They steal from grocery stores and gas stations, boutiques and department stores, and yes, even churches and mosques. The article entitled Stealing God's Money, written by AG Financial, reminds readers that the stealing that Adnan and his friends do from their church is not uncommon. So this podcast definitely connects to real-world occurrences. The article cites a situation in which a church usher collected offerings in the sanctuary balcony and then pocketed loose bills on his way down. Over a number of years, he stole several $1,000s. There's one of my quotes. I put it in red. A man Sarah interviews who remained unnamed states that Adnan was stealing from the mosque every Friday. That's a quote from that man. He insists that over the years, Adnan perhaps took thousands of dollars total, much like the man cited in the article who took loose bills every week. Adnan admits that he too took loose bills. But he also says there is no way this added up to thousands of dollars. He tells Sarah in episode 11, if they were even $100 short on any given week, they'd have noticed. So sure, maybe $20 or $40 here or there, but not hundreds. So there I have another quote. However, the idea that people may take loose bills from the plates at churches is unfortunately not uncommon. Another similarity between, so I have my transition in blue, I'm moving on to another similarity. Another similarity between what is discussed in both the article and the podcast is that church fraud generally goes unreported. Many churches don't report fraud, maybe because they want to protect the thief, or maybe because they are embarrassed that they did not have security measures in place, or perhaps the thief is an authority figure of sorts. It seems as if people did not report Adnan because they wanted to protect him because they liked him. Even the man who accuses Adnan points out that he was a charming, likable kid. He was a good kid who did missionary work. His theft also goes unreported because he comes from a good family who were highly regarded in the church. Additionally, and there I have a transition in blue, this article cites reasons why people steal from church. One of the reasons they list is rationalization, which the article states is when an embezzler may think they aren't paid enough and so deserve the money, or they may consider it borrowing and not stealing. So there's another quote. I got to put that in red. Adnan does, in fact, rationalize his stealing to Sarah. He states that he and his friends were always helping at the church, cleaning, shoveling, etc. So they viewed taking a few 20s once in a while to go to the movies as payment. Overall, it seems that stealing from a nonprofit place of worship is more common than we may realize. So then I have my bookends, right? My beginning sentence and my ending sentence like serve as bookends to my paragraph. Now, I have 3 connections in my paragraph. You only need 2. So you're getting this assigned on a Monday. It is due Friday. If you need some help throughout the week, please email me and I can Google Meet or read a rough draft or whatever you would like. Okay? Thanks, you guys. Last serial assignment. We're almost done. Bye-bye.